Back in April, Paramus officials arrested Just Pups owner Vincent Losacco, following the discovery of 67 puppies being left in his van overnight. The pet store owner was charged with multiple accounts of animal cruelty and was insisted to close down his store in Paramus. But with his store in Emerson still open for business, many protesters have gathered there. One protester shared with me her story.
I foster. In the past 6 months, I've had a lot of his puppies. At the beginning, I did not know that they were coming from him, and they were sick, each single one of them.
And in case anyone was wondering where those 67 puppies in his van had come from, our protester was kind enough to share what she had learned.
Slowly, we started learning that this man has a puppy mill in Missouri, that we found actually violations against him there also, and he has over 400 adults constantly breeding over and over again.
Dr. Ferris explains that this is, unfortunately, something that is to be expected when buying puppies from some pet stores.
It's most likely from a puppy mill. The dogs have a lot of inbred diseases because they're not really testing for genetics like good breeders do. And they have a lot of health problems when you get a puppy from a puppy mill. But the suffering that the breeding parents have to deal with is horrible. There are a couple of laws that they're trying to push through banning puppy mills in the U.S. and one can only hope that they'll pass.
Dr. Ferris also had some suggestions for what a person can do to make sure that such places aren't being funded.
My first suggestion is go to a shelter. But if you don't want to go to a shelter, then go to the breed rescue. Every breed out there, just about every breed, has a rescue devoted to that breed, and most of the time the rescue will go to the shelter, or the shelter will contact rescues and say, we've got a boxer, or I've got a Great Pyrenees, which is not a very common dog, but she's adopted, because the rescues pull them out of shelters, and that may be bad, but at least they're taking a lot of dogs out of shelters, so you can just go online, pick the breed you want, and find the rescue. Or the third option, and I don't suggest this, but supposing you really want to look at the genetics, you go to a really reputable breeder. And a reputable breeder will give you the gene testing for the most common diseases of that breed, if you're wanting a purebred. And also they'll always sign a contract that says the dog comes back to them and you don't dump it at a shelter.
Caitlin Beeson reporting.